Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to show you how to export a structural Revit model from Revit to CSI ETABS. Also, we would like to compare the result of the analysis result between two models, one which we are exporting from Revit and one which is made entirely in CSI ETABS. And if, for the sake of comparison, I'm gonna refer you to another tutorial and showing how to do this model in ETABS, which I'm going to share the link of the tutorial later on the YouTube. It's very basic concrete structure with the marginal frames and drop panels and some shear walls. And also, in order to compare the geometries, I have already completed the model in ETABS using modeling tools in ETABS. So we're going to take it from here and we're going to do the model from scratch in Revit, and then we'll see how to export the Revit model to ETABS to get the same exact result. So we'll start with an empty project. So what you need to do is to open a structural template and make a new project out of it. Once you create that empty project, you're going to see something like this, an empty project with 2 levels and 4 elevation. And we'll take it from here by setting up our levels. So in order to match the geometry, we're gonna look at the story data from ETABS. As you can see here, we have 6 stories above base level, so we have 6 levels above foundation, and each level height here in this model is 12 feet. So I'm going to do this also here in Revit. Go open one of the elevation. Make sure that is 12 feet. And then we start, we can rename level 1 to level 0 just for so we have the name matching both models. In order to create the levels here, an option is to create it by pick line option here and enter the 12 feet in offset, and go ahead and create the levels that you need. So you need 6 levels. So we have level 6 here, and the distance is 12 feet and story height. So that's about the story. And now we start with the grids. We have a rectangular grid which is spanning 22 feet in X direction and 18 feet in Y direction. So that's also easy. We can do that in any levels here. So go to create architecture grid. This was grid A, just to make sure. Yes. And in X direction we said we're spanning 22 feet. So we'll do the same thing as we did in levels. So we enter 22 feet and offset, and we'll have up to 5 grids and 4 bays. So here we have 1 extra, so I'm going to delete that. Also for the horizontal grid, we'll have 18 feet span, so we can create one here. That would be one, and 18 feet. We're gonna have 3 of this. Okay, so notice the numbering of the horizontal grids are up from down to up direction. So I'm going to change that here. So we'll just start from, let's say this is 4, and this is 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we start adding our columns. In the model, if you look at the frame section properties, we are using the concrete column, and there are actually 24 by 24 inch square shaped column with the concrete material. So let's go back here. We go to structure, column. We're going to use a concrete column. So we need 24 by 24. I don't have. I'm making a new type here. 24 by 24 inches. 24 inch and 24 inch, which is 2 feet by 2 feet. So we can place the column on the grid, and then we select all the grids and press finish. So now we just need to make sure that the columns are extending all the way from level 0 to level 6. So I'm gonna select all of the column here, and then we set the base level 0 to, let's first to level 0 to top level 6. So now if you go level 6, you can see the columns and the grids. Notice that in ETABS always the columns are divided by the stories. Here you don't need to do that when exporting to CSI ETABS. If you're using CSI Link plugin, it will be divided automatically when exporting the model. So all you need to do is to make sure that it will intersect those levels that are being exported. Now we go back to our ETABS model. We're going to check the property of the slab, which is in here, slab section. Actually this is let me just check, it's a slab 1. So from here we choose a slab 1 modified. It's an 8-inch slab concrete. We're gonna set the material, so just ignore that for time being. We'll come back and fix it later. So we have an 8-inch slab here. Now let's see if we do have a structural floor which is 8-inch here. I have a 6-inch concrete slab, so I'm going to take this and duplicate it and make it 8-inch, and we make sure the thickness of the structural part is 8 inch, because that is the same thickness that will be used to create the ETABS model. And then I'm gonna just create a rectangle. This is my extent of the slab. So you notice that I created the slab on level 6, so I'm gonna need to copy this and paste it on other levels from 1 to 5. So if you look at the 3D, now we have something like this, which is pretty much the same as our ETABS model. Now we're going to model the drop panel. So first we need to check what is the section property. Drop 1, it's 15-inch drop. Okay, so here, go back to this and make sure we have one. So we'll use the same concrete, and we'll duplicate that and we'll create a 15-inch drop. Also make that 15 inch. Okay, so now make sure the size of drop panel matches the ETABS model. So it's a 6 feet by 6 feet. So let's create one. Floor, choose drop. So 6 means if we're supposed to have a drop panel here around this axis, so we need to offset 3 feet from both sides. Sorry, 3 feet from both sides, and also from here and here. Trim them all together, and we're done. They overlap, but ignore the, you can join them later on. As of now, we can ignore the error. And then I'm going to copy these multiple times on the grid. As you can see, we have only 6 drop panel. We don't have them on periphery. Instead, we have the marginal beams, which we are going to model in next step. So we just take these and copy them from here to here, and look at it at 3D. Okay, for some reason this became also a drop, so we just use 6 inch. I'm sorry, it was 8. Okay, so the same thing we have to do with the drop, and copy, paste them on levels from 1 to 5. Just like that. Next step, create opening between the 2 grid C and D and the 2 horizontal grid 3 and 2. It's also easy. You need to create a shaft. Create a shaft, make a rectangle here. Notice that in this area we have shear walls instead of the columns, so we have to remove the columns here after creating the shaft. We can also add the symbolic line just to make our drawing more clear. So this is our shaft, and it's already cutting the floors, and just to make sure the extents are okay. The base should be level 1, level 0, all the way to level 6. So we check the 3D. Now you should have the opening all the way through. And you can take out these columns now by selecting them, these 4 columns, and delete. Okay, the next step is to model the walls. So let's check the property of the walls. See if we have property of the walls. We have 2 types, wall 1 and wall 6. This is wall 6. Wall 6. So we're using wall 6, so let's check what is the property of wall 6. Wall sections, wall 6, modify. It's a 14-inch thickness, and it's also concrete. So let's go back. 14-inch wall. We go to structural wall, and we create a 14-inch wall. And we draw that just like from, make sure the base is level 0, level 6, and then draw it on the grid line, and then one line just in the middle. Check the model in 3D. In order to see this model better, we can we can play with the transparency of the floors. Okay, much better. So our walls is created in the same direction and same dimension. So we are done pretty much with the geometry except for the marginal beams. So I'm going to check the beams. It's a concrete beam section property. We'll see we review this property, concrete beam. 13-inch in depth and 24 width. So just remember that. Go level 6. Structure, will be doing a frame, concrete one. Okay, so we said 24, 13-inch in depth. That's 30, so I'm sorry, 30-inch in depth and 24-inch. Let's have a look. So that's how it looks like. It's okay. Now you don't actually need to sort of draw a beam in each bay. You can simply run across the perimeter of the rectangle. So I'm gonna just create a similar of these beams, and then you just draw it over the columns. Direction also doesn't matter. You can draw in any direction you want. Okay, have a look in 3D, make sure it's all okay. Now we copy these beams from the level 6 and then paste them all the way down to level 1. Now this is our model. We're done with the model. In the next video I'm gonna show you how to set up the some structural settings before you use CSI Link export button.